And we are live. Shalom, Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. Good to see everybody. Shout out and shalom to Cabo Cobb down in Guatemala and his congregation. Shout out to Amiyatazar in London and his family. And shout out to Stream of Wisdom, our brothers and sisters in Norfolk, Virginia, in Rochester, New York, and also Houston, Texas. Shout out and shalom to all the brothers that watch us online throughout all the states, Florida, Georgia, Albuquerque, Mexico, California, Michigan, so on and so forth. Shout out and shalom to everybody that is new to the channel. And hopefully we can edify the body and bring some understanding to what we're delivering by way of the word of the Most High, and ask the Most High to bless this understanding. Alrighty, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. The title of the class is called Unbecoming Cain, Part 2. This was a Part 1 that was done about... and shout out to shalom to the sisters in Colorado too. This was done about a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago, about the mentality of Cain. And we're going to dive into it a little deeper than what we touched on the first time around. If we can get as much as we can possibly in this class, cool. If not, we'll make it another edition. But let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start off. Kariah, let's get order. Ishaya, well, Kariah, you're here. You can read. Kariah, let's start off with 1 John chapter 3, and let's read verse 11.
Uh, 1 John chapter 3 and verse 11.
Read that.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning.
Okay, so there's a message that was heard from the beginning that has been reiterated and repeated throughout the scriptures. And this is not something brand new. He said it's been around from the beginning. What is the message that we heard from the beginning? Read.
That we should love one another.
That we should what?
That we should love one another.
Now, a lot of times, of course, this is easier said than done, because when it comes down to the practice of it and the performance of it, we tend to fail. And that's why we have to have these type of classes, because we often, more than ever, we fail at learning and knowing and exemplifying and doing the performance of what the Bible is asking us to do, which is to love one another. Read on.
Verse 12. Not as Cain.
Because in the Bible, that's why we read the Bible. When we use the Bible as our number one source of information, it's because there's somebody that loves the wrong way. And there's some people that know how to love, and there's those that don't know how to love, and they make mistakes, and they love the wrong way. And one person in the Bible that stands out in the Bible that doesn't know how to love or loves the wrong way is Cain. He said, not as what?
Not as Cain.
Now, you know, Cain was the third man on the earth, firstborn son of Adam and Eve. So we know also that Cain did away and did what? Read on.
Who was of that wicked one.
He said, who was of that wicked one, and we'll go into detail about that. He carried the same spirit of the wicked one, and we're going to explain this in detail very shortly. Read on.
And slew his brother.
And what was Cain known for?
Killed his brother.
He killed his brother. Cain was the first murderer. He was the first murderer, committed the first murder, and that was ever done on the earth. Recorded, the first recorded murder ever done. He created the first 48 ever done on the earth. So it was Cain. And so this man, that's why we're calling this class Unbecoming Cain Part 2, the essence of the irrational mind. If you can do me a favor, and get the definition of irrational. If you give me the definition of irrational, because this man's mind frame is irrational. But give me the second definition of irrational.
Second point of irrational in the 1828 Webster's Dictionary. Not according to the dictates of reason.
He said this man was not operating according to the dictates of reason. He was out of his mind. For you to kill your brother, you're out of your mind. You're not operating in the bounds of reason. Read on.
It says, contrary to reason.
He said his mind frame was opposite, totally opposite of reason. And read on.
Absurd.
He says the Bible would call this man an absurd man because of the way he was thinking.
Yeah.
Why is his actions absurd? And why can sometimes we relate to this absurd mentality, or we can adopt this absurd mentality, which is why the Bible says to not love, to love one another, but not as Cain. We're not supposed to have the same type of irrationality and absurdity as Cain.
Mm-hmm.
And so, read.
It says to pursue a course.
Because the course that Cain was on, which unfortunately a lot of us are on the same course as Cain. What is that course?
It says to pursue a course of life which destroys happiness.
So if I don't know how to love, if I don't know how to love people, if I don't know how to love my brothers, if I don't know how to love my sisters, if I don't know how to love my husband, if I don't know how to love my wife, I am on the same course as him. Cain. If I'm on this course of Cain, this Cain course, so to speak, is to be on a path that is what?
It says to pursue a course of life which destroys happiness.
So if I don't know how to love, what will happen to my happiness?
It's destroyed.
You destroy your own happiness.
And others.
And others' happiness. You destroy happiness, whether it's your own or others, when you don't know how to love. How many of us have destroyed the happiness that was intended for us to receive from what the fruit that love yields? Mm-hmm. How many of us have been absurd in our behavior where we're destroying our happiness? And we didn't even realize that that's the same thing that Cain was doing. And that's the same mentality that Cain had. He was an irrational man. To be irrational is to be on a course where you destroy happiness, whether it's your own or whether it's somebody else's. All right? So that's why we're starting off explaining how not to have this mind frame, but we have to identify the complete ingredients of what irrationality looks like. All right? So now let's go back to 1 John 3 and 11, where you were in 11. Let's read it one more time.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning.
Read.
That we should love one another.
And if we can love one another, that allows us to sustain happiness. Yeah. That allows us to reap the benefits of happiness, of what love brings.
And also, too, I like what you're saying, Sean, because if we can learn this mentality, then we would learn not to destroy others' happiness, and including ourselves.
Yep, exactly. Read.
Verse 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother.
Read. And
wherefore slew he him?
And why did Cain kill Abel? And that's what we're going to dive into today. Because we want to understand the mentality of somebody that would take his brother and destroy his brother and slay his brother. What has to be in your mind to do dirt to somebody else, to do evil to somebody else? What has to be in your mind? What is in your mind? And that's why it says, wherefore did he do what?
It says, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him?
Go ahead.
Because his own works were evil.
It says, because his own works were evil. Read.
And his brother's righteous.
So what is that?
Envy.
Jealousy.
Not being happy for somebody else.
I can't be happy for you.
Because I'm not happy.
Why am I not happy?
Because I'm not getting blessed.
Bingo. And that was part 1 of this class, Unbecoming Cain. But we have to, it's more to it than this.
Yeah.
And there's more to explain of why Cain was rejected. Why was Cain rejected? Read verse 13.
Verse 13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you.
It says, marvel not if the world hates you. Read.
We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren.
And we know that we've come out of the world, and And we've evolved from a worldly Cain-like mentality when you actually learn how to love who?
Brothers.
The brothers.
People.
Loving your people, loving your brothers and sisters is only second to loving who? The Most High. The Most High said, love the Most High with all your mind, all your heart, and all your strength. And the second commandment, love your neighbor like yourself.
Yeah.
Two greatest commandments. So when you learn how to love your people, it's only that's only second to loving the Most High. That's how potent learning how to love is. It's almost identical with loving the Most High. And read verse 14.
Verse 14.
I mean, you already read 14, right?
Yeah, we ain't finished.
We ain't finished it. Read on.
Okay. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
Read.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
And I abide in this what?
Death.
This death. This death is this irrational mentality.
Yeah.
This is a mentality where I destroy my own happiness and other people's happiness.
Yeah.
So if I abide in death, we're going to go into detail more about this verse too. But we got to do some explaining and break down the variations and the polarity of both Cain and Abel and what made them different and why the Bible's telling us not to be like one and what can we learn from this. So we're going to go to Josephus, page 31. We're going to start off in the Josephus at page 31, which is going to be book 1. And let me get these scriptures up here. I'm sorry about that. You're going to start off at book 1, chapter 2. And start off at paragraph 1, just so I can put these scriptures down right there. Yes, sir. What? You got that, Ahmad?
John, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Book 1, chapter page 31. Book 1, chapter 2, from the beginning, paragraph 1.
Mm-hmm.
Adam and Eve had 2 sons. The elder of them was named Cain, which name, when it is interpreted, signifies a possession. The younger was Abel, which signifies sorrow. They had also daughters. Now the 2 brethren were pleased with different courses of life. For Abel, the younger, was a lover of righteousness.
My Waller, come on. You got a vest? Yeah, come on up. He said he was a lover of what?
A lover of righteousness.
He said he was a lover of righteousness. Read on.
And believing that the Most High was present at all his actions.
Now, what stood out with Abel? It says Abel, what stands out as far as a virtue that we can learn from Abel, he says that he was a lover of righteousness. What does that mean? It means that he enjoyed doing things according to the Most High's way of doing things. He enjoyed having the mentality and of what pleased the Father. How did he do that? He says he did what?
A lover of righteousness and believing that the Most High was present at all his actions.
What do you call that when you believe that the Most High is watching you at all times?
A constant fear of the Lord.
Fear of the Lord. What else? Fear of the Lord. Somebody said something
A
else.
constant consciousness.
Say it again.
A constant consciousness of the Lord.
It's not only a constant consciousness of the Lord, but it's a heightened consciousness of the Most High. When you know that the Most High is watching you at all times, you have an accelerated consciousness, a heightened consciousness that you know for sure that you get away with nothing and that the Most High is watching any and everything that you do. You're aware, extremely aware that the Most High is overseeing your actions, your decisions, and your thoughts. So this is what made Abel stand out. Was his consciousness, his fear of the Lord. Read on.
God, he excelled in virtue, and his employment was that of a shepherd. But Cain was not only very wicked in other respects,
It said, but Cain had things that stood out with him. He said that was wicked, which we're going to dive into also. He said that was wicked in other respects. Read.
But was wholly intent.
It says, but what stood out the most about Cain is that Cain had a thirst. He says that was wholly intent. That means he was completely overwhelmed with the idea of what?
Upon getting.
Upon what?
Getting.
Getting. What does that mean?
Come up.
A come up, a taker. What else?
Opportunity.
Would that go
Opportunity?
to like hire? Like a person is just doing it for the benefit or for the work?
Not so much a hireling. Yeah, that's one aspect. But when somebody's doing something their whole intention is to get. That means that is their that's where their mind has fixated upon the gain. I'm only fixated upon the gain.
Yeah.
I'm only about the getting. I'm not worried about nothing else. Yes, sir.
Yeah. There's trying to just,
You gotta speak. I want the camera to hear you.
I'm saying that's like the Pharisees, because when you're just trying to get, then there's like nothing that's gonna stop you from getting that. If the getting is your main intention, and even if you gotta go through some loopholes, then you're gonna do what it takes to still get.
Right.
And that's what the Pharisees always got these loopholes going on with the law.
For the purpose of swaying things or turning the tables their way.
Resting law.
Absolutely. So they can inject themselves to receive a benefit. Great point.
Another point, mentality-wise, this would be somebody that's very selfish, not really worried about investing in others, not really worried about what other people need. I'm just only focused on myself, which, if you think about it, is very self-centered. It's somebody that's focused on himself.
It's very self-centered, and this is somebody that's wholly intent. That means their outlook, their attitude behind their job, how they look at their job, and the mentality that they go to work in is only about me. That means I go to work, and my concern is me, and that's all I'm concerned about. And that's why you said it's selfish, because my whole concern is me. Everything about what I do for the Most High has nothing really to do for him or anybody else, more so than it has to do with me receiving my reward for my work and my sacrifices and my labor. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, more than likely, you have no charity.
More than likely, you have no charity. Great point. So when it says his whole intention was upon getting, read on.
And he first contrived to plow the ground.
And it says his first job that he chose to do to give the Most High sacrifice from his labor was to plow the ground. Now, there's nothing wrong with plowing the ground. There's nothing wrong with agriculture, farming. There's nothing wrong with breaking open the earth, planting seeds. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that we can look at is the spirit behind plowing the ground. Because there's nothing wrong with having a laborious obligation or doing farming. There's nothing wrong with that course that he chose. There's nothing wrong with the jobs that we do. But the question is, what mentality do we go to work in?
Yeah.
All the work that we do for the Lord, what mind frame do we have behind the work? Everybody has a job. Well, for the most part, we all have jobs.
Right.
But it doesn't matter the job you do, more so than it matters what mentality you have in your job. And when I say in your job, I ain't just talking about a 9 to 5. I'm talking about what you do for the Lord.
Yeah.
What you commit, how you commit your sacrifices to the Most High. What mind frame are you in behind it? Now, in plowing the ground, there's specific laws that designate the mentality behind plowing the ground, or the mindset that you have behind the work that you do. Let's dive into that a little bit by Deuteronomy. Read that for me, my wife.
Come.
Deuteronomy chapter 24.
24.
Let's start at verse 19.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 19 reads. You know when you're ready.
Read that.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 24 verse 19 reads, when thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheep
in the field,
The Bible says that when you are doing what?
and has forgot a
No. Read it from the top. Verse
God.
19.
when thou puttest down thine harvest.
So you're plowing, you're sowing. That means you've planted seeds and the seeds have sprouted. And you're reaping the benefits of your labor. That means your seeds have grown and you actually are receiving crops. You got crops to show for. So you produced something and you got something to show for. So the sheaves have grown, the sheaves of wheat have grown tall, and it's time to cut them down and harvest the wheat. Read on.
Come, when thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field.
And you forgot a section of the field, either by being busy, or you just couldn't get to it, or time didn't permit. Maybe it got dark on you. And there's some wheat that was left in the field. Read on.
Thou shalt not go again to fetch it.
You're not supposed to go back out there and say what?
And fetch it.
What does that mean? Why is that? Why the Most High said, if you forgot to cut a corner of your harvest, of your land, don't go out there and go back out there one more time and say, man, I got to finish that last little edge.
That would work.
But why would I do that? What is the Most High explaining why not go back and hit that corner or hit that edge or forget that patch that you left? Read on.
It shall be for the stranger.
It shall be for what?
For the stranger.
Who else?
For the fatherless.
Go ahead.
And for the widow.
Because what the way the Most High had things set up was that everything you do and what you have to sustain yourself was never supposed to be only for you. I'll say it again. The way the Most High had agriculture set up and work set up was that it was never, your job was never supposed to be wholly beneficial to you and you only. It was never supposed to be that way. Somewhere in an American capitalist society, we have adopted the mentality that I have to go for self.
Yeah.
That there's nobody that's going to take care of me but me. That I gotta put myself above everybody else. When in actuality, when everything that I do in my life was supposed to be beneficial not only to just me, but there was supposed to be a little bit of my effort and a little bit of my work set aside for not just me. So in the beginning of time, the way the Most High set up labor, you were never supposed to just worry about you and you only. Ever. Ever. It was never meant that way. But somehow, some way, we've gotten bamboozled and we've gotten thirsty to where we're only concerned about making sure that I'm taken care of, and that's my only concern. I got to take care of myself. But the Most High had it set up where if you had some compassion, or if you had charity, or if you had consideration, that you were supposed to always consider somebody that didn't have. You were always supposed to consider somebody that came up short. You were always supposed to consider somebody that didn't have enough or couldn't function. The mentality behind our labor is not the same as the Most High's intention from the very beginning. Read on.
Come. It says, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord thy power may bless thee.
He says that the Lord thy power may what?
Bless thee.
When would the Most High bless your work? When would the Most High bless our work?
When you give to the fatherless, the stranger, and the widows. When you don't make it about you.
Yes. Say it again, sir.
When we intend to disperse it.
Speak up a little bit.
Like when we do our work with the intention of dispersing it among the
You know why the Most High said that you get blessed behind your work? Because he's looking at what? You said it right. He's looking at your intention. The blessing from our labor is rewarded based off intention. What is your intention behind what you do every day? That's how the Most High determines blessings. What do you do with what you create? What is your focus behind what you generate every day? Every one of us have some type of generating power. Every one of us can actually reap something and generate and create something. We can create some resources. Every one of us can. But mentality wise, the Most High is not looking at your regenerative power. He's looking at the intention behind the labor. He's looking at the mindset behind the work. Why do you do what you do every day? And who else do you think about when you do your labor, when you do your work? He says, and if you can understand how the Most High has work and labor set up and rewards and blessings distributed, you'll understand that he's checking my intentions. Read.
That the Lord thy power may bless thee in all the work of thine hand.
So when my work and everything I do, I'm the only recipient of all my work. I'm not worried about anybody else. What did I just destroy? I just destroyed my blessings. I just destroyed my own blessings. When I'm only self-centered, only concerned about me, I just destroyed my blessings. That was an opportunity for me to receive a blessing. Yes, sir.
You know, it's crazy. Like the scripture says, how the Most High, he already cursed your blessings, but we don't think that the Most High is already preparing the blessing for you. But he put us in these situations to see, are we willing to give with the purest intentions, so that way he can deem you to give you that blessing.
Yep.
We make it about ourselves, and the Most High is like, I was just about to bless you, but because you made it about yourself, I got to sit back here and take that back, because you made it too much about you and not giving it to others.
The opportunity for the blessing is available
right around the corner.
It's in the midst of you doing your work every day.
Yeah.
A blessing is always available. But we squash that blessing and we squander those blessings the minute we turn our minds to only us. When you don't think outside yourself, you just step on your own blessing. Read on.
Come. Says that the Lord thy power may bless thee in all the work of thy hands, when thou beatest thine olive tree.
It says, and when you got trees, you planted your olive seeds, and now you got trees. And if you know about olive trees, they grow quick. They don't take much but water and sun, and them things will spring up, and they like sun too. And they will spring up huge. Olive trees will get taller than your house. They get big. And so he says, the problem is you're really not doing a lot of climbing. It's not really beneficial to really climb an olive tree. So the best way, historically, the best way to reap the benefits of an olive tree is to take a long stick. And when they're ready and they're ripe, all you got to do is take a long stick and whack the branches, and the fruit of the olive falls down. And in old-fashioned harvesting of olives, you put down a net. You put a net down under the tree. You whack the branches a couple times, and the olives fall from the tree. And then you collect what falls in the net. And harvesting olives have always been that way, because it wasn't, once they're ripe and they're ready, it don't take much for olives to fall off the tree. They don't take much at all. They actually come off quite easily once they're ripe and they're ready. They fall a lot of times on their own. A lot of times olives and figs, they don't take much work to reap them. Read on.
Verse 20. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the bow.
The boughs are the branches. He says, once you whack the branches of the olive tree, he said, thou shalt not what?
He said, thou shalt not go over the boughs again.
Are you supposed to keep trying to beat the branch? I'm gonna beat every single olive off this branch.
I'm gonna get every single olive up on that tree.
I'm gonna get everything off this tree.
It's for me right here.
For me.
That's a greedy mentality.
That is.
I'm gonna whack that. I'm beating this olive tree like a piñata, like a kid at a party. I'm whacking this tree like a piñata. I want all the candy out.
You got the shirt and then you just scooping up all the candy.
Yeah, you got all the candy.
All your cousins like that.
Yeah. Trying to get everything. He's still swinging while people running up to get the candy, but about to hit somebody in the head.
You
Right?
got all the candy in your shirt.
Yeah.
You walking off out here like, yeah, this is me right here.
You got the bubblicious and all that.
Somebody trying to walk up to get it. You still swinging.
He's still swinging. and somebody get clocked. But
Yeah.
what mentality are you working in? Stingy. I'm greedy. It said, don't go back and whack the branches again. Don't keep whacking the bowls. Damn, you trying to get everything off the olive tree. Read.
It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow.
It said it's for the stranger, the fatherless, and for who else?
For the widow.
And why is that? Why is the Most High checking your intention? Who's supposed to go back and hit those trees and see what's available so they can still eat?
The poor.
The poor, the stranger, and the widow. So what the Most High is looking at is he's checking intentions, but he's also checking consideration. He's checking, have you considered? Are you, as you go to work every single day, are you only considering yourself? Or are you considering the people around you? How do you go to work every day? What spirit are you in when you go to work every day? Are you only about extraction, gaining for self, looking out for self? Are you actually in mind going to work thinking about those that don't have, that need? That's what the Most High is looking at. Read on.
Come, verse 21. When thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean.
Matter of fact, hold this. I might give me Ecclesiastes in the part for 1825. And then I want to finish this. I want you to finish this.
What?
Ecclesiastes 18:25.
And hold that. Finish this, read verse 22.
Come, verse 22.
Read it again.
Come, I was reading 21.
Read 21.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 21 reads, when thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward.
He says, when you gather your grapes, you're not supposed to go back and extract every single grape off the vine. You're not supposed to glean it where there's nothing left on the vine. That I got every single every single grape that the vineyard has produced. Read.
Come, it shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow.
So what are we learning right here? The wheat that I have left over, the olives that I have that are on the tree still, that I didn't beat off the tree, the grapes that are on the vineyard, what am I supposed to be doing as I go to work every single day?
Consider those that are in need.
The Most High is checking mentality. He's checking intention and he's checking consideration. Do you consider only you and your daily sacrifices and obligations to the Most High? Or are you thinking outside yourself? He said, read.
Verse 22, and thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in the land of Egypt.
You're supposed to remember that you was a what?
A bondman in the land of Egypt.
He said you're supposed to remember that you were a bondman in the land of Egypt. What does that mean?
Remember where you came from.
What does that mean when you remember where you came from?
Remember when you were
Humility.
Say it again.
when you were poor, when you were needy.
You're supposed to always reflect. When you go to work every single day, you're supposed to stay in a mentality of reflection. What happens when you can reflect on your poverty? What happens when you can reflect on when you didn't have nothing? What happens when you can stay in a mentality where you can reflect on what it means to come up short, not have enough, and to be hungry? Say it again. You can do the same thing for other people. What else?
I was going to say, it's two things. One is pity. You learn how to have compassion towards your people. And most importantly, you can consider others.
Yes.
Right? Because you were in that position.
Yeah.
So you can relate to how this individual is in this position. So you can relate to this person and relate to what they need and what they want and consider them.
You can remember their suffering.
Yep.
Because you remember at one time you were in that same situation too as well.
I know what it feels like to be in their shoes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it feels like to have nothing and to have no help and wishing somebody could come through for me. And I know what it feels like to be in need and wanting somebody to think about me and wanting somebody to consider me. I know what that I know what hunger pains feel like. So because I know what hunger pains feel like, and I know what it feels like when your stomach touch your back and you're working with little to nothing every day or every month. Because that suffering, you don't want somebody to feel that. I'm considering other people so they don't have to feel what I felt when I didn't have anything. And by staying in that mentality, by reflecting on your poverty, you can consider others the more, but also it keeps you in a mentality. I was waiting for somebody to say it, but I didn't hear it. It keeps you in a mentality of appreciation and thankfulness. If you know where you came from and you know where you are now, that you have something to eat and you can function, then you also stay mindful that the Lord is good. Mm-hmm. And you can also stay mindful that I appreciate what I do have while I consider those that don't have. And that's the beauty of remembering where you came from. You can consider other people and you stay in a position of appreciation and thankfulness of what the Most High has done for you. Read that.
Cain, verse 22. And thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in the land of Egypt. Therefore I command thee to do this thing.
And he said, that's why I'm commanding you not to take all the wheat off the ground. That's why I'm and consider other people, the stranger, the widow, and the fatherless. That's why I'm telling you, don't beat all the olives off the tree. Because I want you to think about the people, the widow, the stranger, and the fatherless. Don't take every damn grape off the vine, because I want you to consider the widow, the fatherless, and the stranger. Stay considerate of other people as you go to work every day. That's critical. Read that, Ahmad.
Ecclesiasticus 18 and 25. When thou hast enough.
It said, when you got enough, when you got your stomach full, and you eating good every day, and your pantry is full, and you got food, you open your refrigerator, and your refrigerator is busted out with food, and you can barely close your refrigerator door because there's plenty of food in there. Because it's easy to look in the refrigerator and you look all the way to the back and you only see a lonely cold box of baking soda.
That's so true, right?
And you open the refrigerator up and you see a light bulb and baking soda. And that's all you see. And you can see all the way through, you can see through what's supposed to be vegetables in the vegetable bin. What's supposed to be vegetables is nothing. You can see right through that. And you may have a half a stick of butter.
Might.
And the little egg tray that come in the refrigerator, the plastic egg tray, ain't got no eggs in it. And then you open the freezer and you got ice cubes. You got ice cubes, and you got ice cubes, and if you're lucky, you got some leftovers in there. Because you know what it feels like to open up the refrigerator? You almost have to open it twice.
Yeah.
Because hoping that you miss something. You close it and try to open it back up. Maybe I forgot something in here.
Sometimes you might have so much food that some of the food that you had got molded in there.
They go to waste.
Go to waste. Then you got to throw it away.
Yeah, because I'm eating good. So he said that I'm throwing more food away than I actually eat. I might not even get to the leftovers. But that's why he said, what, Ahmad?
Ecclesiasticus 18:25. When thou hast enough.
He said, when you do got enough.
Remember the time of hunger.
You're supposed to remember what?
The time of hunger.
You're supposed to stay mindful that, hey, man, this is a blessing. If I can look at my food, and I got enough food in the refrigerator, and I got options. What I'm gonna eat today? Man, I got some steak, I got chicken, I got fish. I got so much food, I don't even know what to cook today.
Yeah.
And I got frozen, I got chicken in the freezer. I got meats, I got ribs, I got beef ribs. Man, I'm eating good. What we gonna eat today? I don't even know. I got so many choices. I got options. You know what you're supposed to remember? Man, things ain't always like this. And I know where I come from. I know what it feels like to be without. You know what happens when you can stay mindful of when things aren't so good? You can stay attached to people. You can stay sensitive to people. You stay sensitive to their needs. You stay sensitive to what they need and their hunger. You stay sensitive to other people's situation when you stay mindful about their condition and the fact that it wasn't too long ago I didn't have anything but butter and baking soda. And if I was lucky, I had some canned goods that I could just throw in a pot and mix it together and make a goulash or make some type of vegetable soup. Because you always got them bag of peas. You know, the bag of peas that nobody really want to mess with. It's like the peas and carrots and cauliflower mix, and sometimes it's the mix. The mix is better than just the peas by itself. The peas, carrots, and the cauliflower mix ain't too bad. But when you just got peas that you double for an ice pack when your kids bump their head, it's like, hey man, I ain't got no ice cube here. Put this on your head for a few minutes. That bag of peas doubles as an ice pack. But when you're able to put something together, you're thankful for other people considering you. When you can consider people outside yourself. Somebody put even worse than that, it's a horrible feeling to be in a spirit, but be homeless and unable to keep Passover or other feast days. You have to rely on handouts. Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember growing up, and if it wasn't for the charity of the church, back in the 80s, if it wasn't for the 2 brown bags of groceries that the church was giving out, we wasn't gonna eat much. And I'm not saying it was the best, but it was something. And during that time, it was they give you a bag of beans, they give you a loaf of bread, you get a can of grapefruit juice, you get a can of pet milk, you get a block of cheese and a block of butter. And maybe if you get there early, they'll hand out some meat. And of course, it's going to be some salami or bologna. But back in the day, it wasn't much you was getting. And they gave you them flakes. It just said flakes. It was corn. It was fake cornflakes.
Yeah, but the great.
They didn't even say cornflakes. They just said flakes. It was flakes. It said flakes. You get a can of pet milk, or you get the powdered milk that you had got in the box. It had the little metal spout where you just shake it and it shake the flakes out, and you add water to it and reconstitute the flakes and make milk out of flake water. Flake milk, turned water. And then you got to add that to some flake cereal and just try to add a whole bunch of sugar and cinnamon on it to spruce it up. Yeah, the sugar's only at the bottom of the milk. It never, by the time you finish the bowl, because it turns to soup immediately. It was never like real, like bran flakes that stay crunchy even to the last bite. Them damn flakes, you got to eat it fast. Because they just soggy, they get soggy, they just sag on the spoon. They sag on the side of the spoon quick. There's nothing you can do about it. You just eating flakes. You just like, man, I got to get this over with. I got to eat this fast because it don't taste right. But he said, what, am I?
25, middle of 25. Remember the time of hunger and when thou art rich.
And when you got it, you're supposed to remember when you don't have it. You know why? You know why that's important? Because it keeps you appreciative. Because a lot of times we forget what it means to not have. And we forget people that don't have either. We forget what it's like to not have and not be able to function. And we damn sure forget other people that don't have it and can't function. The Most High is looking at intention. He's looking at consideration behind your work. And how much you consider and how much you think about other people determines your blessings. It's very simple. Read on.
And when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need.
He says, think about poverty and need. What does that do? When you got food, you got options, you're taken care of, but you're thinking about poverty and need. What does that do for you? It keeps you considerate, but also it keeps you humble. It keeps you humble. Because you also understand that tomorrow may change. It keeps you humble. It keeps your pride from getting out of hand. And if you start thinking that life is good and it's about me, and as long as I'm taken care of, that's all I care about, look what I got. That's when your pride starts getting the best of you and you start doing something to people. You stop considering people. You become desensitized to people. You become careless to people. People get under your skin. So when you think about not having, even when you do have it, you stay humble. Read on, Nama. What verse you on?
26.
Yeah.
From the morning until the evening, time is changed.
It says from the morning to the evening, what?
Time is changed. The time is changed.
What does that mean? No, that means that, yeah, you got it today, but it don't guarantee you that you got it tomorrow. Yeah. You might not have it tomorrow. You know what it does? It keeps you humble. That's why the Most High said, when you do got it, think about when you don't have it. And think about those that don't have it. It's a mind frame that the Most High is looking at. Somebody talking about putting noodles, elbow macaroni noodles. Hey, mac and cheese go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to melt government cheese. You will be there for a minute. It's hard to cut government cheese. Even just cutting it, it's hard. It takes strength. Even to cut government cheese. You can put that thing in, you could actually put it in a skillet and it won't even melt. It takes intense heat. You got to put that little butter you got left, that government butter, with the government cheese to help melt the cheese. The cheese so damn thick and hard. Don't let it be cold, man. That thing is a brick. You gotta cut it in slivers.
Not even.
You got sliver cheese.
You damn near doing this.
Yeah, you lay it on the block, man. You about to break your hand, man.
Yeah.
Try to cut that.
You about to cut this up.
Yeah, you slant it. Man, it's a tough life. But if you understand it, hey, you appreciate when you do got it. And you stay humble and you stay mindful. You stay considerate. That's why it's so critical that we remember these things. All right. So let me get I want you to read this, correct? Get this for me, get this point, man.
You done with that?
Yeah, you're done with you're in what verse?
That was 18 to 26 Ecclesiastes.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me see
25.
what you got? No, not yet. Jump down to verse 30. Why is the Most High? Why is the Most High saying when you have it, be mindful of when you don't have it, and think about poverty, think about need. What is the Most High trying to keep you away from? It's very important that we understand what he's saying and why he's telling us to keep this humility about us. Read on.
Ecclesiastes 18 and 30. Go not after thy lust.
Because what is the Most High keeping us from?
Lust.
From our lust. If we only start thinking about us and becoming self-centered, and all we consider is what we don't have and what I need, then it's easy to get on a chase of just satisfying my lust. It's easy to adopt a mentality and create a habit where I'm just concerned about me and what I have to get. And other people become on the back burner. They're not as important to me. I don't consider them anymore. It's easy to be geared to just satisfying your lust. That's why you have to balance out your mentality of giving, being charitable, thinking outside yourself, thinking about other people, taking care of other people, not only working for me, because it's easy to just adopt a mentality where everything I do is only about my satisfaction. That's why I said, go not after what? Read.
Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
He says, but hold yourself back from your what?
Appetites.
So we have the appetite for destruction. Our appetite destroys us. Because when we're geared upon our lust and we gear our mind upon the satisfaction of our appetites, we forget about people around us. We're not concerned with nobody around us. We don't care about anybody around us. We're not thinking about other people's needs or concerns, whether they have or whether they can function or not be able to function. We've totally become exclusive to and we become our own beneficiary. Everything I do must and only benefit me. And there's no balance to me. And there's something wrong with this mentality. Read this for me, correct?
No.
This is follow page. Read this, 649. I want you to start right here. And get this definition for me. I'm sorted. SORDID. Read this.
It says, but there are men who are so sordid.
It says there are men who are so sordid. What does it mean, sordid? SORDID. He says there's men and women that are so sordid. What does that mean?
Sordid. 1828 Webster Dictionary.
Give me the second definition.
Second definition. Vile.
He said there are some men that are so vile. What else?
Base.
Base,
Mean.
mean,
As vulgar.
and he considers them vulgar. Read the third definition.
Meanly. Avaricious. Covetous.
He said covetous. What else?
Niggardly.
He said there's men and women that are what?
Niggardly.
Niggardly. There's men and women that operate like niggers. Niggards.
That's the concept that now we harp on the most about. Don't be a niggard
At the table.
table.
Right. What does that mean to be a niggard at the table?
Greed.
It's greed.
It's
I'm only about me. That's what sordid means. Sordid means to be niggardly. What else?
Filthy, foul, gross.
Hey, turn that light. It said filthy, foul, gross. What else?
It says that's pretty much.
That's it. That's pretty much. That's pretty.
That sums it up.
That gives us clarity right there. Read on. Read that right there one more time.
It says, but there are men who are so sordid.
They're vulgar in the eyes of the Most High, or they're niggardly. Read.
In their minds.
He says, but where are they niggardly at?
In their minds.
So what's a niggardly mind? Or what's a sordid mind or a vulgar, low, base, vile mind frame? Read.
It says, being wholly devoted
It says a niggard mind is somebody that's completely devoted. Go ahead.
to the acquisition of money.
It says all they care about is what?
Money.
So they're moved by their motivations and their intentions is moved by money, by
Yes.
gain.
By gain. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I just care about money and care about the benefits. He said, this is a niggard mind.
Mm.
This is a sordid mind. This is a vulgar, foul mind. It's that all you care about is you getting paid more money.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, remember how the Most High set up agriculture? You were never supposed to just work and all your labor just all together just go to you. He said your blessing was intertwined with your work. The opportunity for a blessing was intertwined with you going to work every day. When you were able to think outside yourself in your daily works and duties and sacrifices, your blessing was written within your labor. But some men have, or some women have a niggard mind. All I care about is making money. All I care about is getting paid and making sure I'm taken care of. Read on.
It says, being wholly devoted to the acquisition of money and laboring to the death.
It said they'll work to the what?
To the death.
They'll work themselves to death because it's that important to them.
Mm-hmm. I gotta get this bag.
I got to get it by any means.
Yeah.
Get rich or die trying.
That's
what 50
those
say.
yeah, those are bars. Those are like the main theme of like music of what
They're
all
pushing.
this other- what they're pushing as their motive in the music.
Get it at all costs.
Yeah.
You know, when Malcolm X said by any means necessary, he wasn't talking about a job or getting money. But a lot of people take that shirt and they take a picture of Malcolm X standing at the window with his AK looking out the blind, and they put by any means necessary. They use that to say that's how I got to go get my money. By any means necessary. Malcolm X was talking about liberation. He was talking about liberation and freedom. But we take that image and that picture by any means necessary, and we put that behind our work and say, man, I got to go get it at all costs. I got to get it at all costs by any means necessary. He says, this is a niggard mind that all they care about is the acquisition of money, even to the death. Read on.
For every description of gain,
It says, for every description of gain, go ahead.
without paying any attention
It says that all they care about is gain without paying any attention. Go ahead.
to the source from which it is derived.
And they forget about who.
Right.
So when men are occupied and women are occupied only in their labor, and it's only about their money, and that's their only concern, and I put the Most High on the back burner, or I just forget about him altogether. I forget about the source from which the money came.
That means that money became that item, your item.
Absolutely. Oh, it became a fixed idol or something that I care about more than the one who actually gave me the benefit. He said they don't even think about the Most High. Read on.
Come. It says that they glean their vineyards.
It said that they do what?
They glean their vineyards.
I get every grape off the vineyard. Didn't we just read about that?
Come.
Didn't we just read about a niggard mind? And how the Most High set up your labor? You're never supposed to glean all the grapes. You're supposed to consider. That means that every time I work and I generate income, somebody else is supposed to be in my mind. Somebody else, but in particular, the widows, the fatherless, and the stranger. People that can't support themselves. People that can't take care of themselves. With everything I generate, somebody else reaping the benefits of my labor is supposed to be considered. I'm supposed to be considering it. Who else can I take care of with my labor? Yes, sir.
So who can I take care of first? Not, I think people have them in front first, and then everyone else is on the back burner. But it's the opposite way. I need to have all of those people forefront of how can I take care of their needs, and whatever's left, I would use for me.
Right. Read.
Come. It says that they glean their vineyards again.
They said they go back a second time. They go back and do a double shift to make sure I don't want to forget not one grape off this vine. I got to get everything. Everything I do has to go to me and me only.
Yeah.
Every dollar I make, every hour I put in, I'm only concerned about me. Everything I generate is about me. Read. He said this is a sordid mind, a niggard mind. Read.
That they glean their vineyards again after they have gathered the fruit and beat their olive branches a second time.
And I got to go back and I got to beat the olive branch again. That's not enough, man.
Yeah.
There's too many olives left on that tree.
I think I see something. I see
yeah.
something on that tree right
I don't want that to go to waste.
there.
I can't let them go to waste, man. I need those.
I need those.
I need those right there.
Yeah.
I can't let those go to waste. I'm about to get my stick. I'm about to beat them branches again and see what else I can shake off this tree. I'm going to shake everything off the tree. Till there ain't nothing left on this tree. Read on.
It says, and reap the whole of the land.
It says, and they take everything off the land. There's not a branch or stalk of wheat left or barley or oats left on the ground. I want all my wheat. I want all my olives. I want all my grapes. I want to reap the benefits to everything that I produce, and it's about what I can get and me only. All I care about is making sure I get mine. I got to get mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get mine. I don't care about everybody else, but I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah.
You know what I was doing in the midst of having that, gearing my mind only for me, not realizing that my blessing was intertwined and interwoven in my labor. The Most High put my blessing and my labors together. And if I can be considerate, and if I can think outside myself, the opportunity for a blessing was always there. But what do? We become hungry, thirsty, avarice. Read.
It says, and reap the whole of the land which bears barley, and the whole of the land which bears wheat.
I got to get everything. No stalks unturned. Read.
It says, convicting themselves.
It says, what do they do when I live a life where all I care about is me?
Convicting themselves.
I'm convicting myself. I'm making myself guilty in the eyes of the Most High. Because whenever I convicted myself, I've convicted myself because I've proven through my mentality that I'm selfish. All that I'm doing is showing the Most High that all that matters to me is me. I'm convicting myself. I'm guilty. The Most High is checking us out every day. And when we can't think about other people, you're convicting yourself. All you care about is you, no problem. All you're doing is demonstrating to the Lord what kind of person you are by what mentality you have. He can see your mentality and your intention, which is in your mind, by how you go to work. The Most High uses work to study thoughts. He uses our labor to study our thoughts. How do you go to work every day? The Most High is using your labor to study your thoughts. What kind of person are you? That's all you care about is money? Gotcha. That's how I got you. You ain't think about nobody else? Gotcha. I understand what kind of person you are. It's easy to see. Read.
God. It says, convicting themselves.
Or I only go to work if I get paid.
That's it. I ain't working for free now.
I ain't working for free. You got me screwed up.
Yeah.
You got me screwed up. I ain't working for free. You tripping.
Tripping.
You tripping. How much you paying?
That's the first question, huh?
Yeah. I ain't nobody's fool. Read.
God. It says, convicting themselves of an illiberal and slavish littleness of soul.
It says all you're showing the Most High is that you're illiberal, which means you don't give for free. You're not a giving person. You're not charitable, like Ahmad said earlier, and that you have a slavish soul. A slavish soul is a petty soul. You have a small soul.
Yeah. Like the war went over a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
About that small soul that has no spirit.
That has no virtue. No virtue. You got a little spirit. You got a little soul. Yes.
I'm a little like,
Say it again.
I'm a little confused just because like I guess I get what you're saying, like working.
Yeah, speak up. I want the camera to hear you.
Working for the camp, I get that, but if I like work retail, what would I go to look for other than my paycheck?
Well, no, not what you go to work. You can go to work. Say if you work retail, if you go to work, who else do you have in mind to take care of what you produce?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the Most High said it's supposed to go beyond just you, but it's the needs of others. You're considering who doesn't have. When I know I have, I'm also looking for those that don't have. I'm looking for the have-nots. As I generate my check, a lot of us have our money already mapped out. Our money's already, I got this bill, I got that bill, I got this responsibility, I got that responsibility. Who else is on that list? Who else is on the list? Nobody else? Ain't no other families on that list? Ain't no other households on that list?
You and your family.
It's just me and my bill. I got all my bills laid out. Got them laid out. Ain't nothing set aside for nobody else? That's all we're saying. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we said. It's not the job that you do. That's why I said earlier, it's not about the particular labor. I mentioned earlier about how Cain and Abel. Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was a keeper of sheep. It didn't matter what their job is. The Most High is studying the mentality in your mind frame behind your job.
Yeah.
How do you go to work every day? Who do you have in mind while you're working? Do you only think about you when you go to work every day? Or there's some other people that you include in your daily rituals of labor that doesn't have what you have, or is coming up short, or don't have any means to provide for themselves? It's the ability to look outside yourself is what the Most High is studying, to determine whether he's going to bless you with more, or whether he says, okay, I understand where you're at. You only care about you. That's all. That's your number one focus, is you and your money. And that's what rules you. That's what's the most important to you. All we're doing is dissecting the mind frame of what people don't think about every day. We're just using the Bible to dissect thought processes and intentions. And all we're showing is those that have a weak spirit or a little soul, or that's illiberal, they're not really a giving person. All we're doing is identifying how can that be revealed. It's revealed in the fact that when you go to work every day, nobody else is in your mind. Nobody else. You're not thinking about nobody else. All you're thinking about is you. That's all we're bringing out of determining the difference between Cain and Abel. There's different attributes that Abel possessed. There's attributes that Cain possessed. All we're showing right here that we're reading about now is a Cain-like mentality, a Cain-like thought process, a Cain-like spirit. Read on.
God. It says, convicting themselves of an illiberal and slavish littleness of soul, and also displaying their impiety.
And they're also put on display their what?
Their impiety.
So when I'm only concerned about me and me only, making my money, taking care of me and paying my bills, he says, I'm putting on display my what?
Impiety.
What is impiety? Anybody? We read it all the time.
No respect to the Most High. No.
Say it again.
No respect to the Most High. Ungodliness.
Impiety is no reverence. I don't have no reverence to the Most High. The Most High can look at us in our mind frame, how we do our work, how we do our labor. Don't matter what kind of job you got, but based on who you have in mind, based on who you're trying to take care of, who are you considering? The Most High is looking at how to bless you, how to reward you, based on what you're putting on and what you're displaying. And he can see what you're displaying by what is your focus. That's how the Most High is able to determine your blessing. What is your focus? Who are you focused on? What do you care about? Who do you care about? Who's the most important thing in your life? What is your priorities? And then the Most High can add all that up and then identify, okay, I understand this person don't deserve a blessing. All they care about is themselves.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got blessings I could give.
Yeah.
But I don't think this person is. If I give this person a blessing, what are they going to do with that blessing? On who?
On themselves.
On themselves.
So you use that money or that resource to help build you up versus building the people that are in need around you.
All it's going to do is go back to your lust. All you're going to do is feed your lust more. That's all you're going to do with it. Most I give you more blessings will feed more of your lust. Versus taking care of the fatherless, the strangers, and the widows. Read on.
God. It says, for they themselves have contributed but a small part of what was necessary for the cultivation of their lands.
So you went to work, you got a check, and you got paid. And although taking care of yourself is 100% of your focus, that's only your labor was only responsible for a small percentage of what it took to receive the benefit, or to receive the reward, or to receive the harvest, or to receive the olives or the grapes. You actually didn't do as much as the Most High did. All you did was plant the seed. All you did was hit the branches with a stick. All you did was actually go out to the field and pick the grapes. But when it comes to actually the growth of the harvest, the Most High did more work than you. Read on.
Con. It says, for they themselves have contributed but a small part of what was necessary for the cultivation of their lands.
Read.
But the greater number and most important of the means to render the land fertile and productive have been supplied by nature.
By nature, he's saying it's the Most High. So, me thinking about what to do with my check will consume 100% of my thought process. But who gave me the job to get the check? Who put the spirit into the person that was hiring that day to consider me over somebody else? Who put the spirit in the person that told me about the job? Who put the spirit in the person that said, use me as a reference? Who put the spirit in the person that said, put my name down and I got you? Who put the spirit in the person that make the phone call and say, hey, I thought you was looking for a job. Hey, why don't you go put it in the application they hiring over here? Who put the spirit into the person that told you about the job put the spirit into the person that says, you know what, I like this person. I'm gonna give this person a chance. Who put the spirit behind everybody around you getting that job? The Most High did. So when it comes to who did the most, the Most High did the most in reference to what you did to receive the check.
Right. And he owns what you put as far as the work itself, like the plants and all that, like how you harp on everything in the world belongs to the Most High.
It's already the Most High.
Already got. Why are you taking possession of something that doesn't belong to you?
But that he provided.
That he provided.
I'm reaping 100% of the materials that he gave me.
That he gave.
That belong to him in the first place.
That don't belong to me.
That don't belong to me. I'm just using his resources to take care of me and to only think about me when it wasn't me who created the tree. I didn't create the olive. I didn't create the grape. I didn't create the barley or the wheat. But the benefit of it, I want all of it. I want all the benefits from something that I didn't even create. There's an imbalance. Read.
It says, but the greater number and the most important of the means to render the land fertile and productive have been supplied by nature, such as seasonable rains.
Who brought the rain?
Most High did.
Read.
It says a proper temperature of the atmosphere.
Who set the temperature of the atmosphere just right so you can get them grapes?
The Most High did.
Who set the temperature of the atmosphere just right so the barley and the wheat can grow?
The Most High did.
Read.
It says those nurses of the seeds sown and springing up.
He calls the rain and the temperature like nurses. He compares the rain and the temperature like nurses. They help guide the seed to development. That's why he calls them nurses. Read.
It says heavy and continued dews
the fact that the dew is on the ground every morning. Who put the dew on the ground every morning?
The Most High did.
Read.
Vivifying breezes.
Who brought fresh air to the crops every day?
The Most High did.
The Most High brought a fresh breeze over the crops and fed it with fresh oxygen.
He nurtured the whole plant.
He's responsible for everything that is being produced. Read.
It says, the beneficial bestowal of the seasons of the year.
Who controls the seasons of the year?
The Most High did.
Read.
So that the summer shall not scorch the crops, nor the frost chill them.
So who kept the temperature just right so that the crops can grow?
Most High did.
Read.
Nor the revolutions of spring and autumn deteriorate or diminish what is produced.
So he said he brought the seasons right on time to keep the crops in production. He set the temperature, the air, the rain, the season, the sun. He made the condition perfect for you to get a check. He made the condition perfect for you to receive a reward every month, every 2 weeks, or every week. For you to feed yourself so you don't have to starve. He set everything up around us to make sure we can function. And what do we do with those benefits that we receive? Do we think about only us, or do we think outside ourselves? Read on.
It says, and though these men know and actually see that nature is continually perfecting her work by these means.
It said, when he said nature, he's talking about the Most High, the Creator, is perfecting the plants by the seasons, the atmosphere, the rain, and the sun, and the dew. Read on.
It says, and is enriching them with her abundant bounties. Nevertheless, they endeavor to appropriate the whole of her liberality to themselves.
Even though nature or the Most High is taking care of everything around me to make sure I'm taken care of, I still, somewhere in my mind, tell myself that I deserve 100% of what I produce. Who did I forget about?
My people.
I forget about the Most High. If I have the mentality that 100% of everything I generate goes to me, then I forgot about the person that controlled the environment to get something, for me to gain something, for me to eat every day. I'm forgetting about the most important person. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have nothing. But somewhere in my niggered mind, I tell myself I deserve it all. Read on.
It says, and as if they themselves were the causes of everything.
Man, that's a niggered mind. I made this money, you didn't. Right, Ted? We out of here. It's my prerogative. Do what I want to do.
It's mine. I spend.
Yeah. Self-made.
Self-made.
Self-made, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I get it out the mud. Yeah, okay. So he's showing the true wickedness inside of a Cain-like mentality. Read on.
It says, they give no share of any of their wealth to anyone.
He said they what?
They give no share of their own wealth to anyone.
So how was the Most High looking to determine a blessing for me?
If I was sharing my wealth to anyone.
Do I have anybody else in mind when I go to work every day? That's how the Most High was determining blessings. Do you think about other people when you go to work every day? Or you only think about yourself? A Cain-like mentality, I don't think about nobody else when I go to work every day. All I care about is me. Read on.
Showing at one and the same time their inhumanity.
It says, for a person that only thinks about themselves, this is an inhumane person. I lack humanity. I lack the concern and the tenderness and the kindness necessary to think about other humans. Yes, sir.
Oh, the apple tree. You take all the apples. You're not letting the apples for the other people.
Right. Exactly. You're not caring about other people. That's a person that don't care about other people. He's just explaining that you're inhumane, meaning you don't have the tenderness of heart to be human, to care about humans. You don't have what it takes to love people when you can't consider them. Even a child understand that. Great point. Read on.
Showing at one and the same time their inhumanity
What else?
and their impiety.
So I show two things to the Most High: that I'm inhuman. I don't care about people and human suffering. All I care about is me, and I don't care about the Most High. When I'm extremely selfish and self-centered, I show two things in my actions. I don't care about God, and I don't care about nobody else. Read on.
These men accordingly, since they have not labored in the cause of virtue.
It says they're absent when it comes to what?
Virtue.
They lack virtues. They don't have virtue. There's no strength or purity about these individuals.
That goes back to having that small spirit.
Right.
So
There's no good qualities in this person. To lack virtue, man, I have no good qualities. So if I don't have good qualities because I'm selfish and I don't think about nobody else, and I really don't care about the Most High, nor really care about people, then I don't have any virtues on display. Read on.
it says, these men accordingly, since they have not labored in the cause of virtue of their own free will.
It says, the Most High said, nobody controlled you but you. You had your choice and you have options to control what you do with your resources. The Most High uses your freedom of your choice to do what you want to do with your resources to determine what kind of person you are. Nobody forced you to do anything. You didn't want to give and you didn't want to think about nobody else. That's because you didn't care about thinking about nobody else. Nobody forced you to be selfish. Read on.
It says, he reproves and chastises against their will.
Go ahead.
By his sacred laws.
Go ahead.
Which the virtuous man obeys voluntarily.
It says a man of virtue don't have to be told by law that you got to be considerate, that you got to think about somebody else.
Yeah. Which is a mature mind state.
It's a virtuous mindset. A virtuous man or woman don't have to be stung by law. You don't got to go to the Bible and show them how they're wrong being selfish. I don't got to pull verses out to show you how you're careless. I don't got to pull verses out to show you that you lack tenderness and kindness. I don't got to pull verses out to show you where you're wrong. Because when you have the option to do it voluntarily at your own free will, you do it. It's not by force and it's not by commandment. Let that go. Let that go. No. Yeah, finish that.
It says, which the virtuous man obeys voluntarily and the wicked man unwillingly.
So the wicked man got to get checked. You got to get checked. You got to get corrected and exhorted and chastised to do right and think about other people. When a virtuous person automatically thinks about somebody else.
That's the first thing on his mind. He made that mentality his intent.
Right. Now let's go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. With all that being said, Genesis chapter 4, verse 4.
Somebody already on there. We good.
You got to read it.
Genesis 4:4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
What kind of man was Abel?
A lover of righteousness.
How did the Most High know he was a lover of righteousness?
He brought the first fruits.
He voluntarily brought what?
The first fruits.
What does the firstlings of his flock represent?
The best of his flock. The best that he had. The best of the best that he had.
He was already automatically setting that aside for who?
For the Most High.
He was already setting aside the best of his labor and the best of what he produced from his animals. He already put the best aside and set aside the best portion for the Lord. He had already considered the Most High. He was extremely considerate. And he showed through his voluntary willfulness that the Most High is priority. I'm going to take care of the Most High first. I'm going to give the Most High my best. I don't have to do it by commandment. I don't have to do it by order. I don't have to do it by somebody yelling at me. Somebody have to check me and show me where I'm wrong. Read on.
Cain, Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof.
It says, read on.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel.
Why did the Most High have respect unto Abel?
Because he was considered.
Abel
To
considered
give
his
his first, his best of the best flock to the Most High.
Because as he went to work every day, he was already setting aside what he know the Most High would want. What would please, he'd already considered what would please the Lord. He had already had that in mind. Read.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Read.
But unto Cain,
They said, what?
but unto Cain
Go ahead.
and to his offering,
Read.
he had not respect.
Why did the Most High reject Cain's offering?
Coming from selfish respect about self. He wasn't considering the Most High.
Give me read on. Somebody else give me a Proverbs 21 and 24.
Read on.
Yeah, read on.
Middle of 5. And Cain was very wroth.
It said Cain was very what?
Wroth.
Now, what does that mean? What spirit was on Cain? It says the Most High rejected him because he was completely indulgent, self-indulgent about everything that he does every day. Every day he goes to work, all he cares about is himself. And Cain was wroth. What does that mean? What kind of mentality is that? Read that, Marlo. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 24.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 24 reads, Proud and haughty.
It said what?
Proud and haughty.
And haughty.
Haughty. Scorner is his name.
What does it mean when somebody's wroth? They're proud. They're haughty. They're proud. They're arrogant. And they're a scorner. That means they become spiteful, is his name. Read.
It says, who dealeth in proud wrath.
It says, who deals in what?
Proud wrath.
Proud wrath. So the spirit that jumped on Cain was arrogance, pride, and and what does that mean when you're arrogant and you're prideful? What does that mean? That means when the Most High didn't bless him because his thought process and his intention, and he lacked consideration, he got prideful. Why would he do that? Why would somebody get prideful when the Most High rejects their offering?
Because he didn't get what he wanted.
Because he don't agree.
Yeah.
I told myself I deserve the blessing. I told myself I deserve the reward. So I become a scorner. When I don't agree with the fact that the Most High is not blessing me, and I put on and my spirit is wroth. I start putting on the spirit of a scorner. What is a scorner?
A person that argues, go back and forth.
I start arguing,
Disagree with you.
and I also start slandering. I start slandering and coming again. This was the spirit that Cain is in. He said he was very wrong. He said, read that again.
Come, proud and haughty, scorner is his name.
Read.
Who dealeth in proud wrath.
It says who deals in proud wrath. So he's showing how this mentality will jump on us if we don't accept the fact that the Most High is not blessing us and we're not doing enough. Give me which is basically I'm resentful. Give me verse 5 one more time.
Genesis 4 and 5.
Read on, my word.
You want me to read that?
Yeah, read Genesis 4 and 5.
God.
Read verse 26.
But unto Cain and to his offspring he had not respect.
He said he had not respect. Read on.
And Cain was very wroth,
Read on.
and his countenance fell.
Why was he so angry he didn't agree? But where was his mind at? Why did Most High reject him? Read verse 26.
He coveteth greedily. He coveteth greedily.
Why didn't the Most High bless Cain?
He coveted greedily all the day long.
Wait a minute. Why couldn't Cain get blessed?
He coveted greedily all the day long.
Because all day long, who the hell does he think about? Himself. So what did the Most High do with his blessing?
He rejected.
Rejection, man. I reject your offer. Because all you care about is who?
Self-preservation.
Self-preservation. They say it's the first law of nature. He said he coveted greedily all day long. Read on.
But the righteous giveth and spareth not.
It said, but the righteous give it, and they're not worried, they're not holding out on the best for themselves. That's the difference between Cain and Abel. Abel was giving and not worried about giving the best to the Lord. Cain didn't have that mentality. All he was concerned about, man, I gotta get mines, and that's all I care about. I don't care about what everybody else got going on. I don't care about what everybody else is doing. I just care about me. And I work greedily all day long. Read on.
27. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
How did the Most High look at Cain's sacrifice?
As abomination.
Why did the Most High look at Cain's sacrifice as an abomination?
Because his intent was about self-gain.
It's easy to understand. It's easy to understand if we're not getting what we feel like we deserve out of our labor every day. If you're not getting what you think you deserve out of your labor, you may want to reconsider who's your focus. You may want to reconsider what you care about. You may want to reconsider your list of priorities. If you busting your butt every day and you feel like you're not getting the best out of what you're doing, it's not the Most High that's the problem. It's not the Most High that's the issue. If I'm busting my butt on a daily basis, but I'm coming up short, all the Most High is trying to get me to see is you need to reevaluate. Why don't you just tweak some things? Why don't you just recalibrate who is in your list of priorities and what you're concerned with all day? Otherwise, you're doing a whole lot of work, but I don't respect that work. The Most High said he looked at that work like an abomination. He said the sacrifices of the wicked are what?
Is abomination.
Read.
How much more when it bringeth it?
So he says, and it's even worse. Not only does the Most High reject it because it's an abomination, he said, but it's even worse when you go to work every day and what?
When he bringeth it with a wicked mind.
It says, and you bring to the table your work with a what?
Wicked mind.
So what is the Most High looking at behind the blessings? Your intent. And he can determine whether you're righteous, whether you're a lover of righteousness, because you're not sparing what you have to give. You consider it outside yourself. You're thinking about other people. Or you bring in your sacrifices to the Lord, going to work every day with a wicked mind. A wicked mind is somebody that's angry that I'm not getting what I deserve, although I'm not doing the things that it takes to get a blessing. Yeah. But I'm sure as hell angry because I don't agree that my life has to be this way because I think I deserve more than what I'm getting. Now go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 5.
Genesis 4 and 5. But unto Cain and to his offspring he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth.
It says, and Cain was very what?
Was very wroth.
He said Cain was very wroth. Now that definition was of wrath, he said he was very wroth. That definition of wrath means to exasperate, right? Exasperate.
Okay.
Give me that definition of exasperate.
Okay. Exasperate.
It said Cain was very wroth. What does it mean when he was very wroth? Give me the definition of exasperate. Give me the first and third definition.
Exasperate. 1828. Point number 1. It says to anger.
It said this man was very angry.
Okay.
When the Most High didn't bless him and Cain was working and he felt like he didn't get what he deserved out of the ground, he got mad at the Most High. And he got upset. He didn't agree. He started operating in proud wrath.
Mhm.
And everything he did after that was an abomination to the Lord. Because his mind was evil. Read.
It says to irritate to a high degree.
This man became extremely irritated. Read on.
To provoke to rage.
It says to provoke to what?
To rage.
Yeah, this man, all that happens in life when you don't get what you want because your focus is off. All that happens in life when you don't get what you want because your intention is off. All that happens in life because you don't get what you want because you're not considerate about other people, because you're inhumane, because that's how we operate, and we become extremely selfish, is that we do all this work for nothing and we get more what?
More upset.
We get more upset.
Okay.
This is when humans start to spiral out of control and go downhill. This is when mankind and womankind start to decline as people. All you do is become more bitter and more bitter and more angry and more bitter in life when you don't think life is treating you fair. When all the Most High is saying is, you have every opportunity to get a reward. You just have to recalibrate. You have to rethink about who you care about and who you put as number one. Yeah. All the Most High is waiting on is for you to change who you think about. All he said was think about the strangers, the widows, and the fatherless, and the poor. Put somebody else in mind. And I got you and I'll take care of you. Yes, sir. What you got?
Somebody give me 1 Corinthians 10 and 24 on Shamshawan's point. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 24. Because this is what the Most High is grading us on. The Most High is putting us in these positions, He's putting us in these situations to see the intentions, right? He wants to see that showbread, right?
Yep.
Because your intentions have to be brought forth to the Heavenly Father so He can know where your mind is at when you do give or when you go to work. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 24 on Shamshawan's point real quick.
1 Corinthians 10:24.
Uh-huh.
Let no man seek his own.
What does the scripture says?
Let no man seek his own.
When I'm going to work, when I'm laboring, when I'm gathering, right? Whatever it is that you do, does the Bible say to go seek for your own? Read it from the top again.
Let no man seek his own.
So when I am laboring, when I am producing fruits, what am I supposed to be doing? What is the Most High looking for? Read the next verse.
But every man another's wealth.
This is on Shamshawan's point. The Most High wants to know, do you have somebody else in mind when you go to work? Or is it only about yourself? Because this is what the Most High is paying attention to. Are you going to work selfishly? Is it about you? Is it about gain? Is it about myself? Or can I at least consider and have other people in mind when I am laboring? Right? That's all I want.
And because I'm laboring with nobody else in mind, I don't get I don't reap the full reward out of my work. I always come up short every time I go to work. I mean, I could put in all kind of hours. I could put in all kind of hours, and I could work overtime. I could put in double shifts, and I still come up short. Why is that? Why I feel like I'm doing all this work, but I'm never able to actually catch up, get up, be on top, or even have enough. I'm barely scraping through. Is it that the Most High cannot overflow me with blessings? Or is the Most High squeezing out my blessings because I'm inconsiderate? Read this. Yes, sis.
Set expectation before forgiving. So when the expectation's not met, we're upset about it.
Yes.
So the most flex what we did because we were like expecting
Right.
for observing.
We expect, right. And because I have an expectation is where my pride becomes inflated.
Yeah.
Because I tell myself I deserve better than this. Because I put in so much, but got in so little.
Mm.
And because I tell myself this, then my pride goes up. My anger is increased. My wrath is increased. Give me that right there. And then I start operating irrationally with the people around me. Ecclesiastes 7:9 in the Bible.
Come. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7, verse 9 reads, Be not hasty
They said, be not hasty. Read.
in thy spirit to be angry.
Don't be quick to be angry. But if I got an expectation, or if my pride is up, or I feel like I deserve more, guess what I'm going to be, what kind of person I'm going to be mentally when I got this expectation or outlook. I'm going to be angry.
And that's proof that you're operating in the haughty mentality because that anger, you were quick to be angry.
Yes. But you're quick to be angry because you didn't think about who is the one behind the floodgates of blessings. Who's the one controlling the faucet when it comes to blessing?
Right.
All the most I do is just turn the faucet off. You just turn your blessings off. Okay, no, I'm gonna get your blessings down to a drip. You got just enough to put your mouth on the faucet. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna slow it down to a crawl. You'll survive, but you ain't gonna like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be thirsty. Get a little bit of faucet water coming out, just a little drip. He said, what?
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
He said, anger rests in the bosom of fools. I like the Passion Translation. It says, control your anger, for anger labels you a fool.
Yeah.
So what did Cain show the Most High the minute he got angry when the Most High slowed his best blessings down because he was inconsiderate about anybody else?
Label.
He labeled himself a what?
Fool.
All he showed the Most High was that, man, Cain just showed the Most High, man, I'm a fool.
Also in that previous verse, when it says proud and haughty, when it says is his name.
The scorner is his name.
Scorner is his name. That's also going into, that's what his reputation is. That's what he's known by.
Yeah.
When it says his name.
Right. I like what you're saying. His name represents him.
Yeah.
But it said a scorner is his name. That means when somebody's angry, they don't like this situation, they're really mad at the Most High. They start taking it out on everybody else around them. And they start talking crazy.
And they have a pattern. That's why the scripture says, show a pattern of what?
Good work. Yep.
He showed a pattern of negative works.
Yeah.
Through
a negative outlook.
Yeah.
And when you're a scorner, you start talking crazy.
Yeah.
They don't just stop at thoughts. You start talking crazy to people around you.
Yeah.
Give me Genesis chapter 4, verse 7.
God, Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well,
This is what the Most High told Cain. It's not that you're a tiller of the ground. That's the problem. The problem is not the job you got is not the problem. The problem is the mind frame that you have while you go to work every day. It's your intention. It's your consideration behind your job. You're oblivious to what's important to the Lord. So it's not the job. It's not the job at all. My bad. Read.
if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Go ahead.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
It says, if you don't do well, sin lieth where?
At the door.
Sin lieth at the door if you don't do well. Give me Ephesians 4:26. He told Cain exactly what's necessary to turn his life around.
Yeah.
Cain had the opportunity through his labor to turn his life around and to turn his situation around. He said, if you do well, he didn't say change jobs. He said, if you do well, you know, he's telling them your mentality stinks.
Yeah.
Your priorities stink. You're inconsiderate. You're like a nigger. You're operating the spirit of a nigger. If thou doest well, you're extremely covetous. All you care about is reaping and extracting. Just change your mentality, change your outlook, and your life could change. Just like that. He said, but if you don't, he said, change your outlook. If you don't, he said, sin lieth at the door. What does it mean? Ephesians 4:26.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 reads, Be ye angry and sin not.
It's okay to be angry, but what?
Sin not.
Read on.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
He said, but you holding on to it too long.
Which turns into it turns into that spirit or that mentality of I have a grudge.
Yes. If you hold on to it too long, that's what grudges are made of. A grudge is something that you have on your head that you don't let go. It's an anger that you haven't let go of. When anger is supposed to have an expiration date. Sundown is the expiration date of anger. By the time it gets dark, your anger is supposed to be going away. Whatever the hell you mad about, supposed to be going out the window by the time the sun go down. But when you meditating on anger, and you're mad all day, and you're mad all week, and you're mad for months, and you're mad for years, and you become embittered, and you're holding on to grudges, you didn't let go of your anger. All the Most High was telling Cain is, you've been angry for too long. You're too bitter. He's giving him the answer to change his whole life. That's why he says, sin lieth at the door. He said, be angry. It's not a problem. It's nothing wrong with being angry. But how long do you keep it in your head? How do you let anger activate things in you? And what is your response time to anger? Is it for a couple of hours? Or you hold on to anger for months and years and days and weeks? Now hold that, my woman. Finish that one more time. Ahmad in 4:7.
Genesis 4:7. Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, thou shalt not be. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted.
Read.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
So he's telling Cain exactly what's going to happen if he don't change minds. Read on.
And unto thee.
Now, scholars say that he's not only talking to Cain at this point. Scholars say that at this point we're reading now, he's talking to Cain. If thou doest well, will thou not be accepted? If not, sin lieth at the door. Scholars say the Most High turns to Abel. And now this is the Most High talking to Abel. So he told Cain what's necessary to be blessed. Change your thought process. Change your intentions. Change what you're concerned about. Stop being greedy. Stop only thinking about yourself. Stop being a nigger. And you'll be fine. If you don't, sin lieth at the door. Scholars say he's talking to Abel now, saying what?
And unto thee.
And he's telling Abel, and unto thee, as far as you go, Abel, read on.
Shall be his desire.
This man is going to be only after you. About what you want and what you have. He says, and unto thee shall be what?
Shall be his desire.
And if this man don't change, this man's going to look at you and want everything that you have. What do you call that? Say it again.
Covetousness.
Say it again. It's envy.
Yep. It turns into
So when he's telling Abel, listen, as for you, if this man don't change, you're going to be the object of his infamy.
But Most High warned Abel before all of that even happened.
He was telling Abel what to expect from this man. Everything this man gonna do is he's gonna be out to get you. He says everything you got, he's going to want. All the benefits you possess, he's going to be jealous of. Or he's going to covet it. Give me Proverbs 27:4. He says, and to thee shall be his desire. What is he talking about? When he's talking about, and unto thee shall be his desire. What's stronger than anger? Envy. Let's read it.
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 4 read, wrath is cruel.
It said, yeah, wrath is cruel. It's bad. When somebody's extremely angry, that's bad. Read.
And anger is outrageous.
It says, and anger is what?
Outrageous.
Go ahead.
But who is able to stand before it?
What's worse than wrath and anger?
Envy.
Envy is worse, brother. It's one of the worst spirits you can have on you. Is to be envious at somebody else. Envy is one of the worst. Because with anger, it can be pacified. Wrath, it can be pacified. Envy cannot be pacified. Because you don't agree with their life and what they possess. And this when he told him, he says, and if not, sin lieth at the door. What is he explaining to him? You had Ephesians 4:26, my woman. Read 4:27.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. Neither give place to the devil.
When you're envious, you actually open the door for who?
The devil.
When does the devil come in? The devil's at your window when you're angry. He's checking out. He's at your window. He's like, yeah, you ain't mad enough yet. Yeah, I like what's going on in there. Y'all arguing? I dig that. That's you calling my name. Y'all in there fighting and arguing? That's my kind of party. Yeah, can I join? Can I join?
Can I join the party?
Can I join the party? Y'all gonna let me? Am I invited? He said, but when you're envious, you just open the door for the devil. You just said, hey, come on in, you're invited. This is my house. Make yourself at home.
Back door, bro.
My house is your house. Mi casa es su casa.
Here's the key, man.
Here's the key, man. Fridge is open. Put on whatever you want to wear. The radio's right here. Throw your music on. Make yourself at home. Make yourself at home.
You're free to stay here at any time.
Yeah.
Rent free.
Yeah.
Rent free.
You know? It's like your family. He said, man, don't you know that when somebody is envious, they give a direct get-in free card for the devil? You just made room for the devil to operate in your household, meaning in your spirit. You let the devil in your spirit. This is why the Most High was telling Cain, if you don't, sin lieth at the door. It said there's something already waiting to get in. And that's why he's telling Abel, and unto thee shall be what? His desire. Finish that, Amon.
Down in Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, thou shalt thou not be accepted.
Go ahead.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee
That's why he's telling Abel now, and unto thee, go ahead.
shall be his desire.
And this man's going to be extremely envious of him. Meaning, this man is going to be operating in a new frequency, under a new influence. He's going to be under a new influence. You are most definitely under an influence when you're envious. And it's not a righteous influence. Read.
And thou shalt rule over him.
It says, and everything you do will be ruled over him. Meaning, he's going to hate the fact that you'll be preferred over him. He's going to hate the fact that you have preferential treatment. That I'll put you first. Because remember, Abel was not the firstborn. Cain is the firstborn. But who will reap the benefits?
Younger.
The younger. What kind of spirit is going to be in that house? In that family? Why does he get that?
Yeah.
Why does he got that? Man, you're going to hear that all day long. I'm older than him. I was born first.
Yeah.
Why is he preferred over me? All you're dealing with is a struggle now. What is the Most High doing? Give me 1 John 3 and 12. Somebody else give me Ecclesiastes 4 and 4 in the Bible.
I got Ecclesiastes.
All right. Somebody else give me that 1 John chapter 3 verse 12.
Okay. 1 John 3 and 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one.
Why did it say Cain was of that wicked one? Say it again. I can't hear you. He let the devil in. That's why he said he was of that wicked one. He opened the doors for the devil. He gave place for the devil. Instead of actually making the corrections that the Most High told him to correct, instead of making the adjustments, change who's priority in your life. Focus on somebody outside yourself. Don't just be a nigger and be covetous and only thinking about you. Think about other people. And I'll bless you. If not, there's somebody waiting to be a part of you. There's somebody waiting to be a part of your life. Yes, sir.
I like what you're saying, Sean Shawan, because what I like about this story, even though it's the first book of the scriptures, right? It also shows that the Most High is not trying to give up on us. He's actually trying to give us a chance to readjust, to make some tweaks in our works. It's not like the Most High is trying to have us to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is actually waiting for us to make the change. He's waiting for us to make these readjustments in our spirit, so that way we don't be like Cain. Because the title of the class is what? Unbecoming Cain. Because it's very easy for us to have this mentality, even in 2026.
Yep.
It don't matter where you are in the world. We can all, we have to be very careful with the thoughts that we entertain, because the Most High can look at us like Cain.
And that's why I said, when you love your brother, don't be like Cain.
He gave you a reminder.
He gave us a reminder who not to be like.
Yeah.
Because this man stands out. His covetousness, his greediness, his niggerness, his selfishness, his inability to think about the Most High or anybody else stands out.
And also that mentality still to exist in the earth. That mentality of gain and want for self-preservation is still present to this day. And that's why in the scriptures, in Galatians, it says that we live in what? In this present evil world. Present evil world of what? Of self-gain.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like what you're saying too, last point, because we look at it like we read the scriptures like, oh, that happened a long time ago. What does that got to do with me? I have to bring that point up because when we read the scriptures, remember the scripture says everything that was written aforetime was what? It was written for our learning. So why do we got to read these points? Why do we have reminders? It's for our learning, so we can learn how to unbecome like Cain.
Yep.
Because it's gonna pop up with whatever situation you're put through.
Exactly.
And you're gonna get put through the test. And that spirit is gonna come upon you. And it's up to you to make that decision. Are you gonna sit back here and subscribe to that thought process or not?
Yep. Very good points, man. Y'all making some very good points. This is my definition. This is not the actual definition of envy. But reading this, what I get from this is envy is insecurity ignited by the reality of your own failures. That's my definition. And my definition is insecurity ignited by the reality of my own failures and insufficient output. It's when I realize that I don't have what I want, and I'm angry at somebody else who I feel has what I deserve.
And I like spiritually. And this person fits the description of.
It's the insecurity that I feel based upon what they possess, based upon their life, their life and the benefits they receive. It makes me feel insecure. And the truth of it is, I actually lack the sufficient output necessary to have that type of life that I see somebody else have. And so what do I want to do at this time? I take it out on the people around me. Because I don't, it's like when truth and vanity collide. It's like the truth of it is, Cain didn't have the mind frame. The truth of it is, Cain didn't have the thought process. He didn't have the liberality. He didn't have the consideration. Cain didn't have what it took to get the blessing that Abel received. But instead of saying, let me make the adjustment, let me change, instead, because this person is getting what I feel like I deserve, then I have to take this person out. Because this person is making me look bad. This person is making me feel bad. So I got to remove the object that's showing me that I'm insufficient. Now I'm operating my wrath. Now, and that exasperate.
Yeah.
Now give me that second definition, that third definition that we had of exasperate.
Third definition.
Mm-hmm.
Exasperate. Third definition. To augment violence.
To augment what?
Violence.
Now, when I don't make the changes that the Most High told me I should make to get rewarded in my life, if I don't make those changes and I don't get blessed, then I stop caring about people. I stop caring about them. I stop caring about humanity. And I put on the behavior of what?
Violence.
Then I put on, that's when I start. That's when I start increasing violence.
Wow.
Violence is just the output of somebody that hasn't fixed their insecurity.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is insecurity breeds envy.
Yes. What I'm saying is envy is the insecurity when it's ignited by the reality that I'm insufficient in my performance to where I'm not getting blessed, meaning somebody else is demonstrating or having what I feel like I deserve. So instead of saying, okay, let me do what they're doing to get where they are, instead of having the humility to say, what did you do to get blessed? What did you do in your life for the Most High to bless you with where he put you, where he placed you, where he has you at? Instead of having the humility to say, let me mimic and trace your actions or behavior or thought process, I tell myself, you trying to show me up? You trying to make me feel stupid? Or you're making me feel stupid? Or you just fronting on me? Or you're embarrassing me? Because the truth of it is, this is the nature of the world. Go to Ecclesiastes 4:4 real quick in the Bible. Ecclesiastes in the Bible 4:4.
I'm here.
You're already there, right? Read it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 4. Again, I consider all travail.
He says, I consider all travail. Read on. He says, there's something you're never going to get away from in the world. You know what you're never going to get away in the world? What are you going to never get away from in the world? Read on.
And every right word.
He says, you can do everything right in the world. He said, this is what you're never going to be able to escape in this life. You can do everything right in the eyes of the Most High. You can be selfless. You can be charitable. You can be giving. You can be loving. You can be kind. You can be generous. Read on.
That for this a man is envied of his neighbor.
It says, and you can do everything right. And guess what you're never going to get away from? What can't we escape from?
Envy of his neighbor.
Somebody going to hate you. Not because you care about the Most High. It's because the rewards that you receive, the relationship you have with the Father, it displaces a person's pride. It collides with their vanity. It puts their vanity on a collision course. What do I mean by that? That what you do for the Lord and how the Most High deals with you collides with somebody else's vanity. Because they tell themselves, you don't deserve that. That should have been me.
Yeah. Should be my lady.
If anybody should have had that, that's me. I deserve that.
Yeah.
You know what you're never going to get away from in life? You're never going to get away from envy. You can do everything right in this life, and somebody's still going to be jealous of it.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the world. That's just the nature. That's just the nature of what we have to deal with in this world. You could try to swear to somebody that I had all good intentions with you, and they still gonna hate you because you're showing them insecure. You're making them insecure. Or you're reaping a benefit that they feel like they deserve and you don't.
Yeah.
Or you have a freedom that they have and you don't. They have a position that you have and they don't. You have a liberty that the Most High bless you with that you have that they don't.
And this is not just a regular stranger to you. You read it, it says his neighbor. His neighbor is really talking about the person that you work with every day, that you have to see every day. So this is the person that you have to see in your house or on the job.
Yeah.
Outside the job. These are the interactions that a person have with this individual.
Yeah.
You can even try to tone down what the Most High do for you. You can even try to be humble. And somebody's still gonna find a reason to be angry at you. You still, even your righteousness or your desire for righteousness will make somebody else hate you. Does that mean you stop trying to please the Father? Does that mean you just fall in with the world? Does that mean that you just give in to wickedness because you got too many haters around you? No, that doesn't mean you. That means that they have to change.
Yeah.
All you do is put other people on notice that they're wicked, and that's all that the Most High was wanting Abel for. You got to watch out for this guy because everything that you got, he gonna desire.
Yeah.
That's an aspect of the world we're not gonna get away from. Give me Genesis 4:7 one more time, Ahmad.
Genesis 4:7.
Somebody else give me 2 Thessalonians 2:11.
Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
He said, if you don't do well, sin lieth at the door. And we already know who's waiting at the door. Read that right there. That's 2 Thessalonians 2:11.
God, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11 reads, as ye know how we exhorted and comfort. Oh,
2 Thessalonians.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 11 reads, and for this cause,
He said, for this cause, read.
the Most High shall send them strong delusion.
So he says, so when somebody's full of envy and somebody's operating under a devilish influence and somebody let the devil in, he said, this person, no matter what you do, It's going to be under a spell. It don't matter what you do and what you try to convince this person, how you try to convince this person that you mean them well. He said they're gonna be under strong delusion. Read on.
That they should believe in lie.
He said that they should believe what?
A lie.
He says, man, you're not going to be able to alter their mind frame. The Most High's warning came, listen, if you don't accept the reality that your works aren't good enough to get a blessing, then you're going to start believing a lie, and you're going to start telling yourself that somebody's taking your blessing from you. You're going to start blaming other people for having blessings, and you don't. You're going to become irate and violent. Is that it, my Waller?
God, that's it.
Let that go. And finish that, Ahmad, and then get second. Give me Karat, 1 John 3:14, or whoever had it.
Genesis 4, middle of 7. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Go ahead. Now let that go. Go to 1 John 3:14.
God. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 14.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:24.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life.
Go ahead.
Because we love the brethren.
This is how you know you're not in the world no more. Because you're not envious of anybody. You can love them. Because you're considerate of other people.
Mm-hmm.
You think about other people more than you care about yourself. You're not walking around with a chip on your shoulder, with a grudge on your shoulder.
Mm.
You're not walking around angry and malicious. Read.
God. It says, we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
Go ahead.
He that loveth not his brethren abideth in death.
How do we know we are abiding in death? What is he talking about when he says that I'm living in death? How do we know when he's saying I'm living in death? What does he mean? I'm abiding in death. He's talking about I'm under the influence of somebody. Who am I under the influence of? Read this right here. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 24.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 24 read. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil.
It says through what?
Envy of the devil.
It says through envy of the devil. Read on.
Came death into the world.
Who brought death into the world?
The devil.
How and why? How and why did the devil bring envy into the world? Or death into the world? By way of envy. What was the devil envious of?
Of Adam.
Of Adam and Eve?
Yeah. He was envious of Adam's position and authority that he had in his kingdom.
You know what the devil was envious of? His immortality.
Yeah.
The devil was envious of Adam's immortality. That's why he told Eve, if thou shalt eat of the apple, or not the apple, but if thou shalt eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he says, thou shalt be wise. He said, thou shalt not die. Because, death wasn't in the world. Death wasn't in the world. Who brought death in the world?
The devil.
The devil did. By way of what? Read it again.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
So if I don't, what the Most High is telling Cain is that you'll be in the same spirit as the one who brought death into the world. If you don't do what's right, he says sin lieth at the door, you're going to operate in the same spirit as the devil, which is envious. And that's how you know when he says the ones that, read that again, correct.
It says, we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
Read.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in them.
I operate in whose mentality? Satan. I'm under a satanic mentality. I'm under his influence.
Wow.
I'm operating in a devilish, satanic, demonic influence when I don't know how to love my brothers.
Mm.
And all it takes is me giving the Most High what he wants first. Read on. Correct?
It says, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Give me John 8:44. He said, whoever hateth his brother is a what?
A murderer.
Let me say John 8:44.
John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil.
Why would Christ have this conversation with the Pharisees? He says, ye are of your father the devil. You're under the influence and you're operating under the vibration of a satanic, sensual, demonic vibration of your father the devil. Read.
And the lusts of your father ye will do.
Because you got the same lust as your father. Remember, what was Cain operating in? Lust. He was extremely covetous. He had the same attributes of Satan. Read on.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
And who was he talking about in this particular?
That serpent that was in the beginning.
No. He was talking about who? Cain. He was talking about, that's why he says, you are of your father the devil.
Oh, yeah.
For he was a murderer from the beginning, because what spirit now was on Cain?
Murder.
Murder. He's the one that committed the first murder. So Christ is saying, when you're envious, which is the reward of not being in truth, which is the reward of a person that's not pleasing the Most High and not living right and giving the appropriate sacrifices, whose sacrifices are an abomination to the Most High, you're operating in the wrong spirit. And what he's telling these Pharisees are, you are the father of the devil, for he was a murderer from the beginning, because Cain was also the first murderer, and he was under the Most High was trying to warn him of what door he was opening up. Read on.
He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
And what don't the devil abide in?
The truth.
What doesn't an envious person abide in?
The truth.
What is the truth? My sacrifices were not accepted by the Lord because of my selfishness. That is the truth. The truth is, I didn't do enough to please the Father to get the rewards and the benefits that I feel like I deserve. So instead of just making an adjustment, and instead of changing my life, altering my perspective, I take it out on people around me. And that's operating the spirit of the devil. When other people around me have to get my wrath. When other people around me have to get my violence. They have to taste my violence. Because of what I do for the Lord is insufficient, I got to take it out on other people. And when I do, I'm operating in the wrong spirit. Read on in that, am I?
John, middle of 44. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
He said Cain would not accept the truth. Your actions, your effort is not good enough. You're not doing enough to serve the Lord. You're too greedy in your work. You're too selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. All you care about is money. You operate niggardly. You're too covetous. You don't think about the strangers. You don't think about the fatherless. You don't think about the widows. You want every grape. You want every piece of wheat. And you want every olive. You don't think outside yourself. Read on.
Because there is no truth in him.
It said because there's no what?
There is no truth in him.
What does it mean there's no truth in me? Read on.
When he speaketh a lie.
Why does he say the devil speaketh the lie? Why does he say the devil speaketh the lie? Why is he emphasizing this point? Read on.
He speaketh of his own.
Because all the devil is concerned about is who?
His own.
The devil is prideful. The devil is arrogant. The devil is selfish. The devil is insecure and is inconsiderate. The devil has a high mind. The devil is haughty, like we read earlier.
Yeah.
And that's why the devil is also known as a slanderer, because he's a scorner.
Yeah.
When somebody only considers themselves an extremely selfish, and everything they do is only about them, they're operating under the same influence.
Mm.
When I'm my own concern. He said the devil is a lie because he only speaketh about what?
His all.
He only care about is himself. And that's all that the Most High was trying to explain to Cain. You care too much about yourself. You're operating in the wrong spirit. Your sacrifices are an abomination. And I'm gonna bless your brother.
Yeah.
Said that. I'm gonna bless your brother. We should have never. I'm gonna bless your brother. And I'm gonna bless your brother. And you're gonna be a hater. You're gonna be envious. Read.
For he is a liar
It said, for he is a liar. Read.
and the father of it.
And he's a father of lies. When are we gonna stop lying to ourselves by telling ourselves that we're doing enough? When we're gonna stop lying to ourselves by telling ourselves that I deserve more than what I got? That's the question. Read on.
And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not.
He said, and when somebody tell me the truth about I'm not doing enough, I don't what?
I don't believe it.
I don't believe him. All the Most High was telling Cain was, listen, if thou doest well, you will get rewarded. Cain didn't do what?
Well,
He didn't believe him. He didn't believe the Most High.
Can't give him a chance.
He didn't give him a chance. He didn't make no adjustments because he didn't believe him. All he had to do was say, okay, let me try. Let me become selfless in my labor.
You can put the effort in.
Let me put the work in.
So I could be justified to receive that blessing.
Yes.
But I'm expecting something off rip right there. Remember, the scripture says, hope deferred what?
Make
the heart sick. So when I have these expectations and it don't get met, my outlook, my mindset gets sour on others, our people. But most importantly, we're talking about right here, what? The Most High. Because he who despises what? Despises not man, but who?
Most High.
The Most High. It's really the reflection of how we look at the Heavenly Father.
Right. And the devil only believes what he tells himself. He only believes what he tells himself. And that's why Christ was telling these Pharisees, you operate in the wrong spirit. You tripping. We be tripping. Give me St. John chapter 17, verse 17.
St. John chapter 17 and verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth.
What's the only way for us to change the trajectory that we're on?
Thy truth.
Be sanctified.
I'm praying by the word of the Most High.
We need somebody to tell us the truth about ourselves.
Yep.
The truth about our situation is that we're not doing enough to get rewarded like Abel.
Yeah.
That's why the Most High said, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever sow a man sow, that he shall also reap. The truth of it is, instead of being angry and vicious and envious and violent towards our brothers, the truth of it is, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough to get the Most High's attention. But what I'll do is I'll be a scorner. I'll start talking crazy. I'll start being envious. I'll start hating the people around me because I see a benefit that you have that I don't have. When the truth of it is, I'm not doing what you're doing. But my pride tells me that I deserve what you have, even though I'm not doing what you're doing. My pride tells me I don't have to do what you're doing to get what you want, to reap your benefits. I just want them because I feel like I excel you. That's somebody operating proud wrath. Why do you get to sit there and I don't? Why do you get to go there and I don't? When the truth of it is, nobody's explaining to me that I'm not giving the Most High what he wants as far as mentality as I go to work every day. If we can make that adjustment, Christ said we can be clean. That's why he said, sanctify them through thy what?
Through thy truth.
And he said, what's the truth?
Thy word is true.
It's not our opinion that's true. The word is true. But Christ said, when I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Because you only believe what you tell yourself. Just like the devil. Just like Cain. Let me this right here. It's going to be the last part. It's already 10, 12. Give me this last part right here. I want to read this for me.
Okay.
Start right here. It is on this account.
Okay. Follow. It is on this account that the sacred historian has said that the man whose place was changed was not found.
Go ahead.
It is much.
You talking about Enoch.
Inasmuch as he is difficult to find and hard to seek out. Therefore, such a man immigrates.
It says what made Enoch special? Where he said he walked with the Most High. It was recorded that Enoch was not found because he walked with the Lord. He's explaining why Enoch was taken up. He said Enoch was taken up. Why? He said he immigrated from what?
From ignorance.
He says Enoch immigrated from what?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. What else?
To instruction.
It says Enoch immigrated from ignorance to what?
Instruction.
Instruction. That's why the Most High just went ahead and pulled Enoch straight to him without even dying. That's why Enoch skipped death. He said this man went from a regular man on earth straight with the Father because he said he immigrated or he changed or he relocated from ignorance to what?
To instruction.
He says, and that immediately got him with the Father. When a man can immigrate from ignorance to instruction, when I can be told the changes that I have to make to get rewarded by the Father, and I do it and I believe it. Read on.
And from folly to wisdom.
And the man will immigrate from what?
Folly to wisdom.
I go from ignorance to instruction, from folly to wisdom. Then the Most High will just pull me up right with him. Then I got the Most High's attention. What else?
And from cowardice to courage.
And I go from being a coward to having what?
Courage.
Read on.
And from impiety to piety.
And I go from what? Impiety to what?
To piety.
Something has to change. There has to be an evolution about us. In order for the Most High to pull us straight up with him, there has to be an evolution. He said, if I can make these adjustments, the Most High will have me to be requested in his presence. Just like Enoch, who was pulled up with the Most High. He said he went from, but a man could do it down here on earth if he migrates or immigrates from impiety to piety. Abel was known for having piety. Cain was known for being impious. Read on. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Cain, talking about Cain, could have changed his outlook.
Yes.
From having that impious outlook to becoming pious.
He showed impiety through his greediness.
Yeah.
He showed that he cared about only himself and nobody else through his covetousness. He said, but if we change from impiety to piety, meaning I think about the Most High first, like Abel did, and I think about people that don't have, about the people that are around me.
Yeah.
Read on.
And again, from devotion to pleasure to temperance.
It says from devotion, I'm devoted to pleasure. I evolve out of just being devoted to pleasure to what?
Temperance.
What is temperance? Temperance is moderation. So instead of just me being about me and me only, I learned how to put myself on the back burner sometimes. I learned how to put myself last sometimes. I learned how to make myself less important and the Most High and other people around me more important. There has to be an evolution. Read on.
And from vaingloriousness
And from vaingloriousness
to simplicity.
to simplicity, which is somebody telling me the truth about myself, versus me believing what I tell myself. Cain only believed what he told himself. And that's where the arrogance comes from. That's where the anger comes from. That's where the pride comes from. That's where the wrath comes from. It comes through because I only believe what I tell myself. He says we got to learn how to get out of that. Out of what, Maola?
It says, and from vaingloriousness to simplicity,
Which is the truth. Go ahead.
Qualities superior to all riches and more valuable.
He says these qualities are more superior to any riches you could accumulate in the world. Read.
And more valuable as a possession than any royal and imperial power.
So he's showing you what is the best pursuits in life. Go from impiety to piety. Go from cowardness to courage. To go from ignorance to instruction. He said these things make a man stand out. And these things translate us from the earth straight to the Most High. From being under the power of Satan to being renewed with the Most High. There has to be a change, though. And part 3 of this class will be about what changes do we have to make. We're going to end it right here. What are the changes that have to be made? What is the truth that I need to hear about myself so that I do not have the Cain-like mentality? So that the Most High can reward me in my efforts on a daily basis. All right. So with that, we're going to say shalom. We'll see you again on Friday. And we'll have brothers ready to go to water for watching class for spending time with us today. And hopefully it was clear. If not, if you have any questions, please reach out and we'll happily reiterate or go over something or make it even more clear if something was hard to understand. All right. So with that, we're going to say shalom from the Sword of Truth. Have a good night. Shalom.